Hey guys, long time no see. It's been about 3 months since I made my last video. A lot of things have happened in that time, which I'm not going to go into a lot of details about. It's just a lot of work stress that has finally calmed down. I was so stressed out that I actually started rereading the Harry Potter books, which was another reason for why I wasn't making videos, because I just wasn't really reading a lot of new books. And so I just didn't feel like it was worth making videos for. I also got a new puppy. She's about 10 months old now, I think. I mean, the vet kind of said that she was between 6 to 8 in July, August. So I would say that she has to be about 2 months now. So, I mean, she seems still like very much closer to 6 months to me than 12 months just because of how she acts, but I've never no real experience with puppies, so who knows? This could just be her actual personality. She has definitely come a long ways since I first met her, and I'm loving her so much. I named her Noodle, which I know some people think is a weird name, but it's just the way she sleeps. Like, I can just move her, like, she just flops. She's like sloppy when she sleeps. That's why I call her a Noodle. I'll put a picture here because right now she is interested in the window. I'm not going to bother her because she's finally calmed down. That being said, I am here to give you my TBR and what I'm currently reading. I'm going back to doing a 5-book review / TBRs for now. This might change if I don't like it, but as I said, for now, this is how I'm going to be doing it. I also have some library books I want to share with you that I'm reading / planning to pick up. Hopefully, I will be able to read them. There's one book that I will definitely be reading no matter what, but the other two are kind of up in the air. So let's first talk about the 5-book TBR. The first is Alphabet House by Jussi Adler-Olsen, and this is about 2 British pilots who get shot down over enemy lines and they get captured. They find this train that's taking these people to an insane asylum, so they throw these 2 passengers off and take their place. And so they go to this asylum where they have to pretend that they are insane, but they soon realize that they're not the only ones pretending. And anything surrounding World War II always kind of lights the light bulb in my brain. I'm always for it, and it sounds very intriguing, so I'm definitely looking forward to picking this up. Next, we have American Pastoral by Philip Roth. This is about a family whose daughter was really sweet when she was young, but she grows up to become basically a domestic terrorist in a way. She gets involved with this group that bombs the place. It's supposed to be anti-war, that kind of thing, I guess, and they're very violent. And it's just about how that affects the family on the whole. I did try to watch the film. I thought it was kind of boring and just too long to get anywhere. And I don't know, it really just made me very anxious in watching it, so I just didn't want to finish it. But I want to read the book. Hopefully it'll have more success than the film, especially since this is the original work. And I mean, I've heard some pretty mixed things about the book too, so just crossing my fingers that this does well for me, but I'm not holding my breath. Then I'm also going to be picking up Angelo's Ashes by Frank McCourt. This is the first of his memoir series. I don't know how many books there is. I think there's only this and his, but I've been really wanting to read both of them for a while, so that was about time that I picked this up. The 4th book that I'll be picking up is Angle of Repose by Biobullets Dinner. This is about retired historian Lyman Ward, who's confined to a wheelchair, who decides to set out to write the history of his grandparents' life. And so you get multiple generational stories through this book and how certain things that he didn't know about affects them. So I'm very much looking forward to reading this. The 5th and last book that I have on my TBR I've actually pretty much finished, and that is All Quiet on the Western Front by this author. This is about Paul, who, alongside his friends, basically out of school, enters into the army, and it's how this war, very destructive war of World War I, affects Paul and his life and changes his thinking and so on. So I am pretty much done. I will be finished with this today. Such a powerful read, but I will talk more about this in my review film. Now we have the 3 books that I want to read from the library. The first is Sex of Swords by Michael J. Sullivan. This is the first volume of the Rare Revelations. I've actually picked this book up in the library before, but never got to it. And it's been years since I first heard about it, and not a lot of people talk about it anymore, but I definitely want to read this, so hopefully this will happen this time. Then I picked up Miss Pettigrew Lives for a Day by Winifred Watson. Now this book I will definitely read one way or the other because I really want to read this. I've watched the film and absolutely loved it, so I'm hoping that the film did justice to the book. So this is about Miss Pettigrew, who is a governess, and the employment agency accidentally sends her to a nightclub singer. Basically, I think it to be her personal assistant, and this book spans 24 hours of an adventure that she lands in with the singer and the experiences that she has. So the last library book that I wanted to read is Murder on the Orient Express by Agatha Christie. As you may all know, there's a film going to be out based on this very soon. I picked it up because of that, but I'm not really sure if I'm going to actually get to this one, and I don't mind if I do or don't. Like, I'm not even sure if I'll actually go and see the film, but we'll see what happens. Then I also am reading from the library Chew Volume 1, Taster's Choice, and I'm absolutely enjoying it. I can't say much about the art because I'm not really good with that. I think it's good for what it is, but whatever. The story itself is really good, so again, you'll hear more of my thoughts when I do my review, which probably won't be much because I don't have much to say when I talk to comic books. The last book that I'm currently reading is Alexander Hamilton by Ron Chernow. This is a huge book, and I've been reading it since the end of July, I believe. I'm only reading like a few pages at a time, so I'm just not rushing myself with this book. I don't want to run myself out, and that tends to be the case when I'm reading massive nonfiction. So that's why I'm still reading through it and not even that far into it. This book, I am enjoying learning more about Hamilton. He goes into a lot of detail, which I appreciate, and I also especially appreciate the fact that he isn't as biased. There is one instance where I feel like he makes huge excuses for him, where I don't think that he actually deserves an excuse, but overall, this is really good. The other thing that I find kind of bothersome is that he'll go into such massive details about other people, whereas I think he could have summarized it, gotten straight to the point, and moved on, because there's just so much he needs to talk about and wants to talk about, so why go into that kind of detail when you don't really need to? But overall, like I said, good so far. So there you go. Those are the books that I will be reading and I'm currently reading. I'd love to hear from you. What books are you reading? Have read? How's your summer/fall been going so far? Thank you all so much for watching, and keep smiling.